up we're making some mixed bunches. So a mixed bunch is different to a bouquet, and some people can confuse the two. So a mixed bunch is just getting multiple bunches, usually flowers that are in season, and a multitude of different varieties all in the one. And so we're not spending the time to carefully arrange them like we would a bouquet into our hand. It's more, as you'll see, we're just picking up one stem and adding it in to the bunch. We are going to use some foliage for this as well. So I've got the viburnum foliage. Now all of the flowers are pre-prepared because we don't need to do anything else with them other than the removing of the leaves, which we've already done. However, the foliage does need to be cut down in size somewhat. So we're just looking for pieces similar to that. So you can measure it against one of the stems of stock. So we want to make sure it's of similar size, and that one's almost perfect. So then you can use one as a guide against your other pieces to try and get ones of similar size. So that one, and I'll just remove a couple of the leaves from that to make it similar size. Okay. I'm not looking for too much foliage in these. It's just really to bulk them up a little bit. That one's great. Okay, and that just might do for that. So I'll pop that foliage aside, and I think this will be sufficient for what we're doing. So with making mixed bunches, you want to have all the flowers laid out in their one varieties, as you can see on the bench, and that way you can just collect what you need as you're going along. Okay, so nice and segregated, and we're also, of course, going to use the foliage. Now you can make the mixed bunches using your gloves or bare hands. It's completely up to you. So I'm going to start with a piece of foliage first, and then I'm going to go along this way. Now we can make multiple bunches and we can do them quite efficiently as well. So one stem of Alstroemeria first, and that's just going to lay on top. Then we have one stem of the sea holly, one stem of iris, one stem of the stock, the pink stock, one stem of the white stock, one stem of the lemon stock, and you can see I'm just turning it slightly just so that I can get that stock evenly spread out throughout the bunch. And then we've got one stem of Lisianthus. Okay? And that can be enough for a mixed bunch. Or if you want to make larger mixed bunches, just go back to the start and add in another row of each item. So go back to the Alstroemeria, the sea holly, the iris, the stock. This is where I am going to turn just to get that evenly spread all the way throughout, and then finish off trying to get a taller stem of Lisianthus in there. Okay. And then at this point you'll need to tie it off. Okay, so this I find it much easier to do without the gloves, and I've got some twine here that I'm going to tie off that bunch with. So you can see how quick they are to produce. If I wanted to make a bigger bunch, I'd just go back to the start again and keep adding. Or if you want smaller ones, of course, you just do one flower of each. If you've got less varieties, then you might want to have them in there multiple times. So tying off. Nice and firm. Okay, and so you're tying off just with a knot there. Okay, there's no leaves below this area here, which we call the junction point. So anything that where you're holding with your hands or you're tying it off, that's what we call the junction point. And then from here I'm going to cut these stems so that they're all at the one level. So the Lisianthus are the shortest of stems. So we're going to find the Lisianthus stem and then cut all of the stems at the same level. If we didn't cut them at the same level, what would happen is we put them into a vase. When the water level drops, the shorter stems are going to not have any water to drink. So we want to make sure we're cutting them all at the same length. Now then, this mixed bunch, most likely we're going to, you would want to wrap it. There are plastic sleeves that you can wrap them in, which I'm going to show you in a moment, or you could choose to wrap it in exactly the same manner as we wrapped the oriental lilies. Again, it's just up to you, the store, and sometimes budget as well. So I'll cut those firstly. Lay that on the bench, and I'll just get a sleeve so that you can see how we pop them in. Okay, so these are the plastic sleeves. They do come in multiple colours and some are patterned as well. I like to keep it simple though. And so we've just got the white. Of course they go with everything as well. Now get that open. Like so. And they've got the cutout opening in the bottom there for the stems. So you take it stem first, through the opening, through the hole. Okay, so they create a very quick, simple wrap, and they're reasonably inexpensive as well. And so you might want to put either a little bit of ribbon or twine around the sleeve there, and then they're ready for sale.